Mateo darted through the river shallows, his sleek brown fur gliding just beneath the surface. He twisted, turned, and leaped like he was dancing with the water itself. The morning was quiet, and he liked it that way, just him, the fish, and the cool river air. But something strange floated past his nose. A plastic wrapper. He surfaced and watched it drift. It wasn't the first piece of trash he'd seen lately. Every day, more strange things floated down the river. Bits of plastic, oily patches, even bottles. The fish were harder to find, and the water tasted wrong. Mateo's whiskers twitched with worry. He swam toward the mangrove roots where the elders rested. They were sunbathing on warm stones, eyes closed. "The river is changing," Mateo said. "We need to do something." But the elders only muttered. "It's always been this way. The river changes. We just flow with it." He didn't agree. He couldn't. Not when the frogs had gone quiet. Not when the turtles left early. Not when the otter pups were starting to get sick. Mateo swam upstream that afternoon, determined to find answers. He passed tangled roots, twisting vines, and birds watching from above. The further he swam, the worse the water looked. Grayish foam clung to the river's edge. A dead fish floated by. Mateo's stomach turned. Then he saw it, a clearing at the riverbank, where humans had set up a camp. Machines, buckets, pipes leading straight into the river. Thick liquid poured from them, clouding the water. Mateo's eyes widened. This was it. This was what was poisoning their home. He rushed back downstream, bubbles trailing behind him. He had to tell the others. But when he returned, no one wanted to listen. The elders shook their heads. "It's dangerous to interfere. Let the current take its course." Even his best friend, Luma, said, "What can we do? We're just otters." Mateo sat alone that night on a rock, watching the moon ripple on the surface. He felt small, powerless. But then he remembered his grandmother's saying even the tiniest pebble makes a ripple. Maybe he couldn't fix everything, but he could do something. The next morning, he swam to the center of the river and began building something strange, an enormous ring of floating sticks, leaves, vines, and bits of trash. The other otters stared. He called it the ripple ring. It floated slowly, bouncing with the waves. Curious young otters joined him, helping without fully understanding. He taught them how to scoop the trash, how to tie it, how to keep it balanced. They laughed. They splashed. They learned. Word spread quickly. The frogs hopped back to sea. The turtles returned with advice. Even the birds circled above, dropping helpful twigs and cheering from the branches. Mateo's ring grew larger, messy, strange, beautiful. The elders watched from the riverbank, whispering. Mateo stood tall in the water. "This is our home. We don't wait for the current. We change it. We protect it." For the first time, the elders said nothing. Then one stepped forward. Then another. And another. They joined him. With many paws and claws and wings, they formed teams. They paddled the ripple ring upstream slowly, steadily, until it reached the human camp. The humans stared, shocked. Cameras clicked. One human shouted for the machines to stop. The strange foam ceased pouring. The pipes were removed. Within days, the river began to heal. Fish returned. Frogs sang. Flowers bloomed at the edges again. Mateo didn't want credit. He just wanted clean water. He sat with Luma that night, watching the stars. "You were right," she whispered. "Even otters can make waves." The ripple ring stayed in the river not as a protest, but as a symbol. It reminded everyone that silence is not safety, and action starts with a voice, even a small one. Now, when the river glistens and a stick floats past, young otters ask, "Did Mateo build that?" And their parents smile. Yes, and so can you. Mateo still swims every morning. He still dances with the water. But now, he listens too to the frogs, the birds, the breeze, because rivers speak, and so must we. And when a single leaf lands in the water, causing a ripple to stretch across the surface, he smiles. That's how it begins. He whispers, one ripple at a time. Every year, the creatures of the river gather to clean, to sing, to celebrate. They call it Ripple Day. It's not about one otter. It's about all of them choosing to speak up. Mateo watches the young ones splash and play, proud of what they've become. Not just swimmers but protectors, listeners, leaders. And deep beneath the riverbed, in the quiet currents, his grandmother's voice still echoes. Even the tiniest pebble makes a ripple. Be the pebble, Mateo. Be the ripple. The river remembers. And now, thanks to Mateo, so does everyone else.